All right, troops, welcome to the Actually. My name is Owen. So tonight we're going to be discussing Jason Statham's latest movie, The Beekeeper. And needless to say, we're all buzzing about it. And if you don't like bee puns, you've come to the wrong place because I'm going to do them so much tonight that you will block me from social media forever. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to bring on the squad tonight. So first up, we have John joining us from Action Flicks again. How are you?
I promise I'm going to behave tonight.
You're going to beehive yourself. Boo. Next up is J-Man.
Hello.
Right. I'm happy for you to be here.
Be here, yes.
And finally is Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing good, fellas. I'm going to tell you right now that from the rest of the podcast or this stream, I'm going to be the podcaster. I'm not the beekeeper anymore. My new movie, The Podcaster, is coming out next month. I want everyone to check it out. Okay.
I don't really like bees. They just piss me off.
If I thought I could hold it, I would try the entire.
Right.
I know I can't.
Do that accent the whole time. I was like,
I probably could. I'm British, so I can get away.
You're close enough. You can pull that off.
You just kind of mumble to yourself and whisper a bit, and you got the stage.
I'm sorry. I watched that little video I sent you guys. I don't know how many times of the guy doing like all the new Statham. He's like, I'm the florist. I'm the groundskeeper. Laughing my ass off because he just kept going and I was like, I'd watch all of these movies.
Yeah. There's a new movie out soon actually called The Painter.
I was going to just say that. Did you see that? I just saw that the other day and I'm like,
and then there was
right
Baker last year with Ron Perlman, which I haven't watched yet.
The Bricklayer.
Just came out. That was a good movie. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, that was all right. Yeah, it was pretty good. So yeah, I've got The Toilet Attendant coming soon, which is good.
The waiter. The
gynecologist. That should be a good one.
I know. Oh, that was like Dead Ringers.
Yeah.
I want to go for a new transporter, but let's refranchise it. I'm your Uber driver. That's how we're going to do the next one.
Uber driver, yeah.
Give me 5 stars. You can. Anyway, we'll talk about the movie. So I got to say, I personally, this is top 5 Statham for me. This is one of his best movies.
Top 3 for me.
And to be honest, this is the action movie for me to beat for this year. Like they're going to really have to go some to top this one. I've really enjoyed it.
Yes.
I enjoyed it more than other movies, which I will not mention by name, which have come out recently, which have sort of had good reviews, and I'm like, but it's Statham being Statham. You know, he's like, let's admit it, he is the same in everything, but that's why we love him.
Yep.
And he's an indestructible badass, but he's awesome. And you got good villain in Josh Hutcherson, who's, oh god, you just want to punch him in this. And the only thing was, I wish Jeremy Irons had a bit more to do in it. I thought he was sort of a little underused. I thought maybe a sequel, but maybe not. Either way, I thought it was awesome. It had a good score as well. The music was cool, I remember. Lots of fight scenes, lots of action, well paced, good coherent action as well, and just a good budget as well. It was nice to just see sort of a big budget R-rated action movie that was just violent as fuck, and I like that. So those are my thoughts on the movie anyway. So Charlie, what's your thoughts on it?
I'm right there with you, man. This is like what watching Sisu last year was. It's like they're gonna have to try to top this movie. Right now, The Beekeeper, not only is it my top movie, it's going to be far and ahead of anything I know that's coming out right now. I enjoyed the hell out of this. I wanted to just turn right around and walk back in the theater and watch it again. Like I wanted to catch everything from it. I absolutely adored Felicia Rashad in this. You know, I actually cared about her character in here. I understood why he was pissed off. You nailed it with Josh Hutcherson. I wanted to punch him. He played that, that type of generation.
The smug douche.
The smug douche makes all your money on the internet, but they're ripping people off. And that's a core thing that everyone can get behind in this movie. We all fucking hate those scam callers.
Yeah. Lowest forms of life. Yeah.
Lowest. Absolute lowest. I'm totally down for it, man. This movie just hit all of the right notes for me. 100%. I do agree with the Jeremy Irons things because I love Jeremy Irons, but I did like his character in this though. I kind of like that he was kind of like the voice of reason for
far more interesting than you expect.
Yeah, he's actually kind of our vehicle for telling the story as the movie goes, because we're not getting anything from Statham. Statham's just straight up man on a mission. All the backstory is all surrounding Jeremy Irons telling us what's going on throughout the movie, and I was there for it, man. God, this one is going to be really, really hard to even match. I think this year, this is top marks for me. This would be like a 9.5 Al Young on the show. Like we're probably gonna cover it when it hits like DVD or something. Like there's so few, and the use, they didn't overuse CG in this movie, which I thought was fantastic. They literally did practical effects. How far are we going tonight, guys? Are we spoiling? Are we talking about?
Okay, spoiler alert, everybody! In case you haven't seen The Beekeeper, go away and go watch it. Go support our.
I don't think there's much to spoil.
Not when, if you've seen most Jason Statham's, but there's one scene in particular I saw that in this movie, and I wanted to stand up and give it a round of applause. Was when he tied the dude to the truck.
Oh my God.
And launched it into the water. That is a truck being launched, dragging a dummy body with it. And I was flashback to canon time watching that. And I was just like, yes.
Avenging Force again or something?
Yeah, exactly. Avenging Force, just anything. Just I want to watch that truck physically go crash, and I don't want a CG body flailing. It is literally a dummy tied to it, falling. Right. And I was there for it, man.
It's the 80s all over again.
Yeah, but it was a throwback to those kind of movies, and that's why I think it appealed to us so much. This is the kind of movie we've been waiting for.
This is what I've been asking for. They literally gave me back my action movies with this. Just a good story to follow. I don't mean simple plot as in it's so simple. It was just a good, straightforward plot. Point A to point B is what Statham is doing in this movie, and I love it. I'm here for it all. But I'll leave some more for the other guys talking.
Yeah, it's open for a sequel as well. But there is the line, and I didn't imagine this line. Somebody does actually say to be or not to be, and Statham goes, "I'll take option B."
Option B.
Everybody cheered in our cinema. This was a press screening we were at, and everyone was like, "Yes!" and we just laughed. And I was like, "This is amazing," because like it doesn't overdo the B puns, but there's still just a couple.
I think that's the only one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, for everyone's been like, "Oh, so many B puns." I don't think there is. I think
really
the marketing had B puns, but we've all added them ourselves. We've all had so much fun that we're like, "No, we need to do more B puns now, guys." You know,
it's not the movie. That's just us. We just like doing that.
Right.
Just a bit of fun with the puns.
That's right.
All right, J-Man, what do you think?
Oh, I'm not going last. Wow.
You're not going last because I know you're not trashing it.
Yeah, I like this movie, so unfortunately I can't be the naysayer. No, well, I'm struggling to find any negatives. I gave it a 9.5 on my review in some lame attempt to try to not say it's 10. I tried to kind of save credibility, but I'm struggling to come up with what I would have added or subtracted to make it any better than it was. I can't really think of anything. I actually got a lot of surprises in this movie for me, because when I thought when Felissa killed herself, I didn't realize that there was a daughter in the film who was an FBI agent who was actually a snag. Jason Statham is always the straightforward, I know what I have to do and I have to get this done. So I didn't write any notes on this because I saw it in the theater. So I'm kind of just making this, I'm just going on the fly, but like, so she is providing more of the morality than he is. Cause we're like, yeah, he's straightforward. We believe in what he's doing because we despise these kinds of, scammers and all that. Because scamming the old people is not difficult. So it's not even a clever scam where sometimes you watch these movies, you're like, oh, the villains, oh, that's a great little gimmick they've got. It's like you're scamming old people who's very easy. They say, oh, you're going to lose your pictures of your kids. Oh no, I can't lose my pictures on my laptop, but she's sort of like, it's not just an FBI agent who's just there to chase the character. She's personally involved. It actually adds to her character, because now you're like, well, she wants them to pay. And she wants them to, I'm sure deep down she's like, kill these guys, but she's also got this obligation to the law. So I found that to be really interesting, and she was really good, which I did not expect at all. But it didn't skimp on Jason Statham taking out the bad guys. There's a lot of cool little guys that get like that. That's like, oh, he's a beekeeper. Oh no, they do this in the Seagal movies, and if I've never not rolled my eyes every time they've done it in a Skull movie. It's so poorly written. This has the same tropes as every action movie you've ever seen, but it's done with some cleverness. They're like, they worked it into where it's like, oh, Beekeeper. Yeah. Oh, that's a thing. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, it's these guys. They're outside the law. They're outside. And they built it up organically. They didn't have the obligatory scene where it's like, well, he's an ex-special forces, and you're like, oh,
just how badass is this guy?
Right.
Yeah.
It's done. The information is dulled out a little bit, like throughout the movie, as different departments learn about what's going on. Like, oh shit, Beekeeper. Oh no, like you're screwed. Like this guy's gonna not stop now. And then bringing in, I did not think they'd bring in another Beekeeper. That is a trope, but they brought it in, and she looks cool. They gave her. They're like, oh, she's insane. She should never have been to be. So they gave her a little bit of a backstory. So now you're like, I can't wait to see this showdown at the end of the movie. Oh, the showdown's over. I'm like,
already done.
What the hell? And that made him even better. But then they're like, but now there's this other guy who goes, he's like, I killed the Beekeeper just
by accident.
I barely able to kill him, but I lost my leg in the process. I'm fucked up. And you're like, okay, what the hell's going on here? And then I'll say the one last thing and let John have some stuff to say. And then it's like, you get to Gemma Redgrave, who's actually from Doctor Who. She plays Lethbridge Stewart's daughter, Kate Stewart. I love her in Doctor Who. Best thing about New Who. She's a great actress. She's the president. And you're like, oh, well, she's the stupid bitch who's behind. No, she's not. And for her to even say, oh, well, I'm just going to apologize and hope for the best. Like, hopefully he doesn't kill us all. It's like, what? Man, I don't know. The tropes that are in this movie are the tropes and the action tropes, but they're done in clever ways and things we didn't expect. I can't see any fault. Like you could see the action. It's very clear. A lot of stuff during the daytime. Mm-hmm. It's fast, but clear. I can see exactly what's going on. You definitely are on his side. You're on his side immediately. Mm-hmm. She got killed. Shit, it was like 15 minutes. Okay, no, and I'll say this one last thing. Not about the movie. The crowd. I saw in the first show.
Because this is what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, well, I want John to have leave some points for John. But the crowd it was me by myself. There was a black couple. I'm only naming it because now we have to name everything. There was a black couple, an Indian couple, and then this older lady and these 4 Indian guys. And we all got up. The lady left on her own, the 4 guys. But the 2 couples and me, we're kind of all in the same seating arrangements. We're all getting up, and I'm like, man, there wasn't enough violence. I don't think he killed enough people in this movie. And they all started laughing, and that broke the ice. And we're like, that was awesome. And like, I'm like, all of a sudden, and the reason I mentioned their ethnicities is to show that a good action movie unites all the diversities. It's like all these minority groups, all these different people came together to celebrate how awesome this movie was. And we're like, that was awesome. And like the lady said, oh, have a good, they come to clean the theater. They're like, have a good night. I said, well, after this movie, we're definitely going to have a good night. And then everyone started laughing and talking again. Oh, that was so great. And we came out and I'm like, I can go just like John. I'm like, I'm good to sit right down right now and rewatch this. It's 100 minutes, or maybe it's 106 or something. It's like whatever.
It's not long anyway.
It's not long. Yeah. It can be purchased on 4K, which I'm sure we're all buying it.
Of course,
I'm sure we're all buying it.
I'm hoping a really cool steel book. That's what I'm.
Yeah, that'd be nice yellow,
shaped like a beehive.
Or a jar of honey or something.
Oh, I love honey. The other also side note, I love honey. So I was like, yeah. But anyways, so yeah, it's so good. And after watching, I watched a bee documentary. I watched a David Suzuki bee documentary on bees. Very interesting, just like they said in the movie. Wow. A lot of great stuff. I love that. I like obviously beekeepers are not real, like the way that they're predicted, like portrayed here. But someone thought
that you know of,
that I know of, but they called it Beekeeper for a reason that actually makes sense, that if you were going to have this government secret little operation or whatever, you would call them beekeepers based on actual bees and what they do protecting the hive and all of that. Awesome. There you go. Packed in honeycomb. Yeah. I love it. Yeah.
All right, Johnny, over to you.
I gave it a 5. I was writing my review.
5 out of 10?
No, I do 5. 5 out of 10.
I know.
But at first I wrote 4.5. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like,
I know I gave it a 4, and I'm like, just because I didn't think I should give it 5, and I was like, it's a fucking 5.
Why not?
Yeah, that's why I texted you.
I'm in the same boat. It's like I feel like there could be an argument to make me say this is a 10, and it's not that big of an argument.
Yeah.
It would be Charlie. It should be a 10. Done. I'm sold. It's a 10.
I gave it a 5. Like I wrote my review, and all it was just one big long article of how awesome it was. I mean, listen, I'm probably the biggest Jason Statham fan on this panel. I always joked around with my ex, like I'm not gay, but I would marry Jason Statham because he's that fucking cool. He is in so much control in this movie. I loved it. It's like how many times you watch an action movie and it's like. In today's age, it's like the flawed hero. You know what I'm talking about? He's got issues. He's got problems. He drinks or something happened to him.
Feeling sorry for himself. Yeah.
Jason Statham. And I feel bad for badasses because all they want to do is retire and do their shit and be left alone. And then somebody fucks with their world. And he's like, God damn it. Now I got to get the guns and I got to freaking, it's like, but he is in so much control until the end when he fights the South African guy. Then it's like, oh shit, this guy's stabbing him. And
that's awesome.
That was
that's the best fight in the film. Yeah.
Oh my god! Oh. And he just came out of nowhere, like the South. I'm like,
he hasn't been the rest of the movie. Yeah.
I went to the movie with my 16-year-old daughter because she's my new movie buddy now, and I'm like. And I said it word for word. I go, who the fuck is this guy? She just started laughing. She's like, I have no idea. And then there's all these redneck-looking mercenaries with him. I'm like, where did these guys come from? But it was awesome. I just rolled with it. I'm like, all right. And let me point out the scene with the other beekeeper. How many times do you watch an action movie and there's this chick who's got skills and she's kicking the hero's ass, but he doesn't beat her up because he's a chick. He fucks this girl up big time. Listen, if a chick has skills and she's kicking your ass and she's going to kill you, hit the bitch.
He smashed her head. I cheered, man. They probably thought I was the weirdest guy. I was alone and cheering at all the violence.
But domestic violence is not okay. Just
no.
Well,
no, only if they fire a minigun that's attached to the back of the pickup.
What's going on? You're smashing the head. She's shooting.
He's like fighting her. Then she's like, "Oh, let me break out my minigun." I'm like, "Where the frick did she get a minigun from?" And then these poor guys like, and then I love when he walks away at the end, and there's a guy hiding behind the gas. One of the gas that he's just like looking at him. He's like, "What the hell just happened?"
I need your keys.
Oh my god! But
I don't need the car anymore. I'm
listen, this is the movie Expendables 4 should have been.
Yes,
they should take. Yeah. Listen, if they ever do another one, but they should watch. I'm gonna be like, watch this, and Statham's in it. Statham should be like. Can we get David Ayer to direct the next? I mean, if Stallone's not going to do it, I'm like, can we get him to direct the next Expendables movie? Because this guy knows what he's doing.
Or Chad Stahelski, someone who actually knows what they're doing when it comes to action movies.
Exactly. But I just love the ending. I love the stairway scene at the end. He is in so much control. He's just carving through these guys. He's grabbing their guns. He's just making them all look stupid. And I said that in my review. They're like, they don't know what they're doing. They're just like, and Josh Hutcherson is hilarious. And Jeremy Irons, yes, he is kind of underused, but I thought his interactions with Josh Hutcherson was because he's basically saying to Josh Hutcherson, he's like, "You're a fucking idiot. Do you know what you just did?"
He's like a bitch. Yeah.
Do you know who you pissed off? He's like, and then when he's in the room with all the operatives, he's like, we got Navy SEALs, we got Delta Force, pussies. I'm just like, I just start laughing. And they're all looking at him like, what are you talking about? It's like, but Statham plays the same roles, and I love him. He what else?
Don't want to do anything different.
Exactly, and he just fucks people up, and then he goes like he just casually goes into the place, and the lady's behind the counter, and he just sets the gas cans on top. He's like, "I'm gonna burn this place to the ground." She's like, "Okay," and then she just walks away.
Clear on out the back.
And like,
my favorite thing about him in this is just how casual he is.
Yes.
He's just nonchalant. He's like
never phased by anything.
He's like
he walks up to those FBI guys like, "What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm ready to break in here."
He's like, you know why I know there's not a bag place to this place because I would use.
That's what I would have used. I would have went in. I'd be in there right now. Waiting on.
Then you got that amazing elevator scene where they're all connected, and they all get pulled down, and he's like, "You guys done?" you're done. Like falling down the elevator shaft. But you have to think of it from a moral standpoint, though, don't you, J-Man?
Oh, that's that guy who's been arguing. Now, those guys were mercenaries, I believe, because the FBI hadn't arrived there yet. The first FBI guy to encounter him was her friend.
I was actually trying to pay attention to that because I was like, there's times he's disarming guys, and I was like, that's like the cops or the FBI.
The guys in black, I believe, were just hired security by the company.
Mercs that were hired, and then the henchman later, he's killing. There might be a couple times he fired on him, but he just wounds
the FBI guy.
I was going to say, you could say he either wounds them or shoots them in the bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
The main bad guys are the ones he's fucking up in this movie. Like he's straight up murdering.
Yeah, they're trying to actively kill him. The FBI is trying to actively apprehend him.
Exactly.
So he has to continue on his journey. So he will stop who's ever in front of him, and in the nicest, gentlest way as possible. The fact that some of them got shot in the arm or the leg or something, it's like, it's a sign of respect. It's like, look, I've got to take you down, and I know you're tough. But the other people, I had this, I don't know why this fellow on my review, was giving me this moral thing. I said, well, I don't get, even if Jason Statham was killing innocent people or not, what's innocent, what's guilty, I don't know. But let's go by the conventional things of, well, the cops, okay. But I don't get my morality from a Jason Statham movie, and the guy mentioned Stanley Kubrick
or some dickhead on the internet.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I own every Stanley Kubrick movie, and I've watched them all, and he's a genius.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I literally said in the beginning of all my reviews, I'm reviewing this as a Jason Statham movie. I'm not even comparing this to Sisu, which is a foreign film, foreign action film, different setting, different mentality, different story to tell. There's grievances there, obviously, with personal to the filmmakers. This is not that movie. I'm not comparing this to Star Wars or, Star Wars, there you go, 22 minutes. It's like, I'm not comparing this. I'm comparing this to Jason Statham movies. You have Jason Statham movies come with a level of expectation, like we all mentioned. But this one excels because it gave you the expectations you wanted, but did more things that you didn't know you were going to get. That's what makes it special. What we're all saying here, like you're saying, I didn't think that was so cool. You're expecting him to be cool. He's going to beat up guys, and then it's over. And that would be like, it's a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 Jason Statham movie. That's cool. This one excelled. The story made better sense. I was not emotionally invested in his mission more so than in this movie. Some of the other... Silver Snail, yeah.
That's the comic book store in Toronto, for anyone who's wondering.
That's a story, yeah. A lot of the times these films are just, the action is the showcase, but I was invested in him completing the mission. He's going to complete it because it's a Jason Statham movie, but I wanted him to complete it because I cared about what was going on. I don't always care. Like Transporter's great. I love the Transporters movies. But I didn't care. Like, I'm like, well, he's gonna win. Like, I was like, oh man, you gotta do this, buddy. You gotta get this done. I'm like, yeah, it was a cool movie. That's it. This one, I don't know if this is my favorite. I'd have to really think about it and go through them all.
It's certainly way up there.
Safe is quite good too.
Safe is up there. It's like that. Safe and Homefront, I think maybe.
Homefront's really good.
Too. Yeah, that's good too. But this one has better action though.
Wrath of Man as well. Yeah,
Wrath of Man is good, but that Wrath of Man is almost like a totally different Statham style movie. It's very
that's why it's good though. It's kind of different. It's kind of Statham in a different.
I didn't see that one.
It's a good. You should watch it.
And then Guy Ritchie with his storytelling, how he goes back and forth.
I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan anyway, so I was in for it. But this one has a way of, like you were saying, drawing us in because I'm caring about Felicia Rashad, what happened to her. I know Statham's going to be this force that's going through, but now I'm curious about the way they're portraying the beekeepers. What is this? They don't ever really give you a full picture of what they are, even to the point where they're like, okay, we'll intervene because he's supposed to be retired.
Yeah.
And he fucks up the other one and they're like, we're out.
Yeah, we're done. Yeah. So you thought, right. Yeah. You thought, they'll send another one. And the thing is, the movie turns itself again. It's like, no, that's a way of showing how awesome he is because they're saying the crazy beekeeper, the new beekeeper who's insane, crazy, and skillful, still can't win. They're like, well, that's it. We sent our best person. The best person lost, and we're done.
It's your problem.
We're not going to waste any more bodies on this because we know we're not going to win unless we send everyone. But it even goes down to where there's a holdout, because you're like, why did he cut her finger off? And then it pays off when he goes into the, he knows where that storage place is and gets in, weapons up, gets in a vehicle. That's a thing set up. I know a lot of people are like comparing this to like the John Wick universe where there's this like underworld going on, and that's fine. But this isn't a copy of what John Wick.
It's
it's not like that.
It's. I think I saw someone saying about this on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck it's called these days.
Whatever it is.
And it was a valid point, and they were saying that critics were saying, Jason Statham, does John Wick movie and whatever else, blah 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 blah. I was like, action movies actually existed before John Wick,
right?
But everyone's trying
to
Statham was making action.
Name one. Name one that came up before John. I can't think of any.
I can't think of any. I don't know.
Right.
But you go back to like the 80s and 90s. There's thousands of fucking movies like this, and that's the thing. But everyone, modern critics are like, oh well, it's just gonna like John Wick. Like, no, John Wick is like Hong Kong movies and everything else, which is what it was copying.
Yeah, there's no movie called The Mechanic, which is essentially what John Wick was before he retired.
Yeah,
an assassin that goes after someone that pays him enough. I mean,
Killer Elite and things like that.
Yeah, Killer Elite, same type of thing.
I love the John Wick series, but this isn't that either, because the Beekeepers are there. You could just imagine other films, because you can do another one, you could do a prequel, you could do whatever you want, because the Beekeepers were there to do things outside of what the confines of the law. He says, when the law is not working, then I can step in and do what I got to do.
Right.
And I can't, if John Wick dies, the character John Wick dies, look, he was a bad guy. We can't sit here and pretend that John Wick didn't go around killing people before we saw him. In the plot of this world, he got
the ending he deserved.
Right, he's a killer, and yes, they killed the dog. The dog was innocent, so that was a wrongdoing. But these people, you sympathize, right? But I can't. If John Wick, I sympathize with his plight. Okay, I gotta, these guys. I had my wife I lost my wife, and now I hurt the dog, so I'm done. That's a great action setup. But it's not a great emotional setup. I'm not emotionally invested in John Wick winning. I just want to see these guys die because they're assholes. But there could be someone out there who he wronged. And we could do a whole movie on that person where, hey, John Wick killed my father. And then that person grows up and it's like, I want a vendetta.
That never happened.
Yeah, like I want a vendetta against John Wick. Because from this child's point of view, John Wick killed my father and he was a good man. Well, your dad maybe was shady. Yeah, but I don't want him to die. So there's someone out there, but there's no one out there that's pissed off at the Beekeeper because they're doing what's, the right thing to do. Right. So you're more behind, like if the Beekeeper died, Adam Clay, right? I remembered his name, which I never do.
Yeah.
I never remember these people's names.
We'll remember the name of Adam Clay.
But that wasn't his name. That was a fake name.
That was the fake. Yeah.
We don't know what his
name. We don't know his name, but
I go by Adam Clay now. That's all I need to hear. That's it.
Right. Yeah. So I wouldn't want him to die because I want him to continue on. It's like Reacher or any of these other, these larger than life characters, which we're now getting into. It seems like maybe because it feels like there's a few, like if the problem is that if every movie was like Beekeeper, Charlie would not have his podcast of giving back. His podcast would be called "I'm Loving These New Action Movies."
Exactly, more action movies.
Don't give me back anything. I love it.
I won. I even like the fact that, we've talked about this in other movies that they get super preachy. They try to have this message. This one actually had a message and didn't beat it over your head.
No.
There's literally, if you pay attention, they are talking about how important fucking bees are to our world.
I loved
and I loved it. Every time she's reading that fucking book and
awesome.
just giving these little tips. And I'm just sitting there going, they're fucking teaching us about the bees.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
This is
that guy just died.
I
went home and watched the documentary. First thing I did was watch the bee documentary.
Do you guys remember when this movie was first announced? We were all like, "What the fuck?" They're like, an action thriller immersed in the lore of beekeeping. We're like, "What?" With Jason Statham.
That sounds ridiculous, I was like, amazing at the same time.
I was like, "What?" I said, "What?" And we're doing spoilers, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so and how cool is it? Because I didn't see it coming. Like the fucking president of the United States. It's like I looked at my daughter. I'm like, that's the president. Like, because they're saying Queen Slayers, which is awesome name by the way.
I love that.
I want that to be the
next
name of the sequel, and it's like.
Oh,
Our job is to kill the queen when they produce faulty offspring. He's the fucking son of the president of the United States.
See, and again, that information came out organically throughout the film. They didn't say, well, he's after the president. It's like you just saw, you're like, oh, she's the head of some big tech corporation who's been doing shady deals on the side.
She was important. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like,
it wasn't until she was shaking hands with all those people and they go. Then you're
ladies and gentlemen, the president of the United States. You're like, what?
That was good.
Yeah, that was.
And it's true too.
Love it.
And at the end, he was gonna freaking shoot her in the head, but that they shoot her, and she's all upset. I'm like, he was gonna shoot you in the head, lady. That was your son. And I love how it ended too. He just fucking goes under the water, and it's just like, yeah.
I love how he just put some duct tape over where he was like shot or stabbed or something. It's like, this is a flesh wound. It'll be fine.
If he had died, I would have been super upset.
I thought he was going to die. That was the thing. You're like, no, you know what? There is a chance. You think he's invincible, badass, but I think he could die. And that's his final thing. The bee does that, and then it dies. And you're like, uh-oh. Yeah. But thankfully, he didn't.
They kept saying as closer as the movie went going that these bees don't care if they die as long as they protect the hive. They will give their lives to. So they said that like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, during that fight, and he gets that stab into the side, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna win, but he might die.
Succumb to his wounds. Yeah, but how cool is it that like he takes his leg away, the faulty leg from the guy?
I love that.
And
I was not expecting that.
And he's still kicking his ass. I'm like, wow, that's talent right
because
there. And then he got shot in the face, and he stabs him in the face where he got shot in the face. I'm like, this is one tough son of a bitch.
I had this friend of mine that I knew him for like a couple of years through conventions. We saw each other like 2 or 3 times a year. I was following him out to his vehicle. And he goes, hold on, man. I got to sit down. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And he sits down. And he pulls his fucking leg off. And I'm like, holy shit, what's wrong? And he goes, oh, you didn't know I didn't have a leg? And I was like, no, I didn't know. You always wear pants. What the fuck's wrong with you? And I'm watching this. And when he rips that dude's leg off in the fight, I had the same moment. Like, what the fuck is that? He just falls over. But I was like, I totally forgot about it. I was like, they foreshadowed it.
They did.
And they did it right. I forgot. It wasn't like jammed in my face. Maybe he could have took it off and there was a gun in his leg. I don't know. That would have worked too. But Jesus, it was awesome. Like Darkman. Exactly like Darkman.
Actually, Alex is saying here that Kurt Wimmer is an underrated talent. He has some misses, but for the most part, it's all that. He did Equilibrium.
Absolutely.
Controversial statement. Equilibrium is better than The Matrix. There, I said it. I know it came out afterwards, but there's more of an emotional heft to it. That scene, once again, what is it with dogs? The scene whenever they're shooting the puppies. I'm like, you bastards.
Yeah.
But it's Christian Bale, who I think is just a fantastic actor, and I love how he doesn't look down his nose at the action genre. He's sort of like a real actor, as I say, but he also isn't afraid to do action movies. I still love Reign of Fire, even though it's not quite as awesome as the poster depicts.
Matthew McConaughey riding a tank is all I need.
Jumping into the mouth of a dragon was even more badass.
Well, with an axe, too.
You're just a badass motherfucker.
But he looks awesome as well. Like the shaved head and all that. We should talk about that at some point. That'd be fun. I haven't watched it for a couple of years.
I saw that in the theater. That was pretty.
That was fun. I would definitely watch a sequel to this. I hope they don't like overdo it. Maybe 3 movies I would do, and that's it. You don't need to do any more than that.
I'm let it go on forever until I get bored.
As long as it's just like with the John Wick movies, I don't want another one. Like, as far as I'm concerned, the franchise ended well with the 4th one, and that was running long anyway. So
he didn't reunite with his dog, and he didn't get his fucking car back. That's what I'm pissed off about.
He went back to his wife. That's all he wanted. He just wanted to be with his wife. So that's
the problem is that Keanu Reeves gets stuck in these things. He got stuck in the Matrix. Matrix is an absolutely amazing film when it was just Matrix Part 1.
Yep.
Yes. Now they tried to
ruined by the sequels.
They tried to do this.
Tried to do bigger and better.
How can you world build? There's nothing to build off of. Our world is fake. So the aliens have us as batteries sucking our life force while we're in this dream world. He's found out about it. Now he knows that outside of the world he can fight these aliens, and then inside of the world, inside of the fake world, he has
aliens. I thought they were just like machines.
No, it's the machines.
Whatever it was. I don't even remember what it is. I don't even remember. I don't even. No, it wasn't. They're not aliens.
No,
No,
there's
it's just
No, I
machines.
think they were just
Well,
like
what-
AI or
That's the whole thing is that
shit.
in the
Okay,
late
so
part of
whatever.
the 20th century or whatever, we become more decadent or arrogant or something. And
Sure.
they talk about that and how that's our peak, and now then the machines took over. 'cause we
Okay,
relied on
so
them too much.
whatever. Well, you think the machines could have found a better resource than humanity, but
Yeah.
that's the point. Don't world build on this. The whole cool thing about the Matrix is like our world is not what it seems. That was the cool part. It's mysterious. There's some cool action. They have the
Doesn't
bullet.
need any more. Yeah.
That's it. As soon as you start expanding it, you start to see that this, as even it starts to fall apart. They have these convoluted state. It's like convoluted dialogue as opposed to be like thought provoking. Oh, that was so interesting. No, it sounds like you don't know what point you want to make, and you're just saying words.
Yeah, like the architect's speech in the second movie. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about?
Go all the way from now you're not the one, now you are the one, now you do this, now you couldn't have done what you needed to do without Trinity. Now it's like, shut the fuck up. Give me only good thing from all those movies that they did on sequels was the giant fucking mechs with machine guns on them.
Yes, that was
well,
cool.
mechs are
I can rewatch that whole scene over and over again.
No, but John Wick isn't a hero. So
No,
it's very difficult to continuously follow a character who is not a hero. You don't have any moral support for the guy. You're just watching John Wick dispatch people who are more
It's a video game. Really.
Worse than him.
Yeah, worse than him. And that's cool for one or two movies. We're like, oh, that was badass. Yeah, get those guys. It's like, to fight evil, you need something even more evil. It's like, remember Riddick, Chronicles of Riddick, which I thought was a great movie, actually.
I did too. I like.
And then it's like, it's again, but we don't need, the Riddick, they have the 3, that's good enough. You don't need to revisit that character anymore. He's done his thing. They don't need to keep going back to it. They could, I would still watch it if it's good, but you lose interest.
The Fury they've been talking about for years, but I don't know if it's ever going to happen because the movies don't make as much money as like the Fast and Furious for some reason. Even though
did you listen? Okay, this
They're
is
more creative.
Did you hear the next Fast and Furious movie? They're going to go to basics. They're going to have a budget less than $200 million. I'm like,
oh my god!
Can I see it?
How are they going to How are they hire the caterers?
Wait, it's going to be $199 million. We're bringing it back to the basics. I believe the first one was made for like 20 million.
It wasn't 20 million or something like that.
Most of that budget went to the cars.
Right.
So.
What was the last action movie? Where it was truly a hero not repenting on his past. Yeah, I don't know if it's a movie, but I would say One Piece. Like that.
One Piece. Yeah, I mean,
Luffy's like a total like hero and positive character.
Yeah, I would say Red with Bruce Willis would probably be one of the more recent ones. Yeah. It's almost kind of like a little bit of like the Beekeeper.
And the movie's stolen by John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm getting the pig. But they weren't repenting on anything. They literally were retired. And it wasn't until they were deemed dangerous that they, got involved.
I can't remember. Was Red a comic? I can't remember if Red was a comic or not. What's like an original?
Actually, Taken with Brian Mills, Liam Neeson in that. I mean, he's going to rescue his daughter and he rescues all girls.
He was a family man who just happened to be an ex-CIA agent.
Yeah, Taken, you could say. Yeah. But I mean, even this is like, I mean, would a hero go and kill these? Like, when you say hero, what do you mean? Like, Jason Statham is a hero in the sense of he's righting a wrong. He's killing an awful lot of people, and some of them aren't directly responsible for the person. Like the first call center, that guy with the fingers getting cut off and the dragging, that guy is responsible for directly taking the money from her.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just there. This is the Death Star. Like, do the people building the Death Star deserve to be blown up with the Death Star because they're just construction workers? But he
did tell everyone that get the people.
Yeah,
that need to be out.
Say get out.
He did. He was like, yeah. But it's funny, that guy, the first guy, you're like, that guy's a scumbag. And then there's a worse scumbag in New York City that was even worse than that scumbag. It's like, it's like, but it's, I wanted to point this out the first time, but I forgot. But it was just funny how Josh Hutcherson through the movie, like throughout the movie, it was just funny. Like he would answer the phone. He's like, did you get it done? They'd be like, well, he's like, did you get it? Well,
Yeah,
and it's
about
like,
that.
it's like all through the movie, he just keeps answering the phone. Like, I love when he answers the phone. He's like, he cut my fingers. And he's just like, what? I just thought that was funny. I could, and it's like, you're watching a good action movie when you're laughing, and it's not funny.
You're
funny,
cheering along with it.
It's funny because you're just like, this fucking shit is awesome because what he's doing is just like, and the choreography, he never looked better than in this movie. Like, and that's him doing it, and he's in his 50s now. It's like, and this dude is kicking ass.
But watching him fight, like, I love watching Statham punch and kick people. Whenever you watch him punch, you're just like, that would hurt. Like, that guy knows how to throw a punch.
That's like getting hit by a brick.
Yeah.
Is with him punching you.
And that pisses me off when people say there's no legit action stars or heroes in movies today. I'm like, because do you ever see that one meme
that annoying fucking meme?
Yeah,
Today's
where they show all this like Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, and then they show like the MCU guys underneath.
Yeah,
it's like
Jason Statham, Scott Adkins, Iko Uwais, Tony Jaa,
exactly.
all
It's
these
like
people.
there are fucking action stars. You just have to fucking look for them because they're not making big Hollywood budget pictures.
That's
Hollywood's not doing it. Yeah,
that's the problem.
That's sort of the actual problem. I don't know. I don't know if that meme is out of ignorance or is it, or it's making the point, or is it the point that these guys are not household. Like, if I went to my mom and said, name some action stars, she'll say, oh, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's like, and then that she'd be done. She wouldn't even name Dolph Lundgren, like, or whatever. They're not giving the genre its due is kind of what's happening. But the genre in its purest form won't work today, which is sort of the podcast's point of give me back. You're not saying give me back to obviously the people who are making the good movies like Sisu or Beekeeper. You're saying give me back the time where this was an accepted art form and franchise and genre.
We had action blockbusters. Yeah. We had now Beekeeper gives me hope because it's kicking everyone's ass at the theaters right now, and it's also
got a good Rotten Tomato score. It's like
insane score.
You can make a good hard R-rated action movie that's super violent, and people will go see it. Yeah. It's like hello.
And this has all been from word of mouth.
Yep.
And I mean, this is also following right off of Godzilla -1 coming out, which is just breaking records. We're getting the black and white.
Oh my god,
in America!
I can't wait.
Dude, I cannot wait.
It's like I get to go see it again. What? It's like awesome.
Well, see, I didn't get a chance to go see it yet.
Oh,
so now that I get to go actually watch it in black and white,
that'll be interesting.
Oh, dude, I'm looking forward to it.
Listen, I was a Godzilla fan since I was 5 fucking years old, and when
I've always loved Godzilla.
No, I know, but when I was watching Godzilla -1 in IMAX, I was just like this. I was like, this is the greatest. I mean, and Godzilla's not even in it, and everybody's like, Godzilla's not even in it that much. I'm like, you just missed the whole fucking point. Get out of my way.
Exactly. That's not the whole point.
But he is in it a lot though.
No,
like,
no. But
yeah, like, even for these people who say that, I don't know what movies they're watching.
They're
watching the legendary ones. That's what they're watching.
Like, listen, he was in it just the right amount. And we're getting off tangent. I'm sorry, but
but it's what it is that there is a shift happening now. It's like those movies are now making money. I mean, January used to be, the killer month. Movies went to
February is even worse.
And this one coming out just swinging hard. And there's not going to be a whole lot of movies this year. We're in that part.
Yeah, we have Godzilla vs. Kong in March.
The actor strike,
June 2 as well.
Yeah, I think we get the Deadpool 3 finally, which is it overhyped already? I don't know. Like I'm gonna go watch it, but
Furiosa's coming.
Lights Out should be good as well. Lights Out.
I'm hoping Furiosa is going to be the one that contends with Beekeeper. To be honest, I want that same feel of when I watched Fury Road, but there's just going to be a bigger, blank spaces this year. Like we were bitching about last year's, like, Jesus, what did come out that was good? This year's going to be harder, where it's just going to be like, shit, nothing came out.
Well, it will be easy then. Like if there's nothing that really, that will be like, hey, this will make our decisions easy.
Well, I didn't even have a top 10 last year because
I didn't either.
There wasn't enough movies. I mean, I saw, 40 movies or something or whatever, or maybe 50. But when I say top 10, that makes it sound like they're good. Yeah. I only had 7 where I would say these 7 movies are worth checking out.
That was all genres.
Right. That's for everything. Like Godzilla,
Oppenheimer,
Creed 3,
like
Oppenheimer.
That,
I did put John Wick 4 in there, Sisu. Like So it's like I only had 7 where I'd be like, oh yeah, I stand behind these 7
I
to go.
I put a lot of indie movies in mine.
So I had Extraction 2 and The Channel. And
I didn't see that.
I like 3 Days in Malay. I love that movie with Louis Mandylor. I mean, that was a low budget World War II movie, but it kicked ass in my eyes.
I don't know. It's just really good to see a movie like this doing well. This is straight up.
Oh, it makes my heart warm.
Exactly. These are the movies I've been looking forward to this.
I just want to get the kids in the same room and be like, listen, kids, back in the 80s, this is the type of movies that made money into box office.
It had a kick-ass trailer because Owen's the one that showed me the trailer.
He's they played Nine Inch Nails. The music that they used, I was like, this is the best trailer.
He was like, before we record tonight, watch this trailer real quick. And he's watching me watch it, and he's smiling as big as I am. But then I'm also worried that I'm like, did I just see all the cool shit? Did I just see everything that needs to be seen?
It's true.
Yeah. And then I go watch this movie going,
and it's better.
Oh, it's so much better. There's so much more.
There's so much more.
You didn't get the trailer. I think the trailer is actually very well done.
It does really give a lot away. Like I hate trailers that it's like I just saw the movie.
Even if they showed you the cool parts, they did show you cool parts, but there wasn't an emotional connection to those parts until you saw the movie.
Yes.
So when you saw the movie, the cool parts became awesome because you're like that guy's like, oh, he cut off my fingers. It's like, okay, he cut some of a guy's fingers. Oh, okay. And when you're watching, you're like, oh, this is the guy who, and you're like, I can't wait for that to happen. There's an anticipation.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like the scene with Felicia Rashad when it's happening to her, that is gut wrenching.
Yes,
I'm sitting there like, don't do it, don't do it, don't hit the button.
I'm picturing my parents in that scenario.
Oh shit!
My dad's 80. My dad is 84. My mom is 82. So I'm right there. They're older than she is, and my dad has almost fallen for stuff like that.
Same with mine,
exactly. And I'm just like, it is gut wrenching. And when and these guys, they're all cheering and everything, and I'm like, you guys are the biggest bunch of motherfuckers I've ever.
I love
every last one of them.
I love that they kept them as stateside scammers, which makes it more believable that Statham could find them. I love the tie-in of they're using CIA technology to target these people. They start talking, which explains why Jeremy Irons is involved, and you're just like, holy shit! Like they're literally going for the weakest of the weak based on an algorithm, and it's like a perfect algorithm. They can't lose, and it just makes me hate them more and hate them more.
And when Statham goes in and finds her, because you're just like, oh,
that was gut wrenching.
He knows. He's like, there's no reason why this lady would have shot herself in the head.
Well, that whole
and then he kept saying, she's the only one that ever took care of me. He kept saying that. He said that like 2 or 3 times in the movie. So that he had a life where he was in this organization because he probably had a fucked up childhood. He probably had, no parents, no other family, and he got sucked into the military, and then he got sucked into this world and everything. And then here he got out, and this old lady who wasn't even related to him took him in, gave him space to do his thing.
That's all he needed.
But she ran a charity too. They even went so far. Even went so far.
Charity.
No, but which is brutal. That makes it brutal. But it explains her reasoning because the question is like, why would this older lady take in Jason Statham, who does not look like he looks like a bit of a scarier gentleman.
Exactly.
Right. It's like, well, because she has that kindness. So it adds to the story.
She sees the good in people.
It adds to her character, and it makes sense and it explains things without having to say it.
Well, they showed us a picture of the son with that too.
Yes.
So she's used to the military.
Yes. She has a soft spot. You're right. I forgot about it. She has
brilliantly done.
It's really well done.
They didn't. It's a fucking 10. They didn't miss.
They did not miss
point they did in this movie.
And then also with the daughter, who's the FBI agent, I liked her and her partner. They had good chemistry together.
For sure.
And when they were on the screen, like he was funny. Like he would be
there's some good dialogue.
He's like, somebody burned down the building. Let's go. And then at the end, like not at the end, but when he's like going through and he's fighting that guy, her partner, and you're like, oh, don't kill this guy. And he's like, I got kids. And then he says his name and knows exactly everything about him.
Gives him the whole background.
He just disarms his gun and basically just
and then lists all the kids' names.
And he just disarms his gun and just throws it back and says, "You're lucky," and you're just basically like, "You're lucky that you're not one of them." and he just walks away and everything. So
Jimmy, how are you? Good to
Meg
see you.
too, he did because he just enjoyed being able just to do
I
whatever
think
the
so, yeah.
fuck you
Operation
wanted
Fortune was okay.
I liked Operation Fortune.
I thought it was
Good
all right.
action in it.
I thought Hugh Grant was fucking hilarious in it. Just that one line he says at the end was like, "If you're gonna ask if I feel like a tit, the answer is yes." He says that. Was Expendables 4? Yeah, that lick balls.
I think the
Lick
biggest
balls.
takeaway is what you can say is most movies that Statham is either in or starring in, he is never the reason the movie failed.
No,
Listen,
or you don't want to watch it again.
That's why I will watch Expendables 4 again, because like the Statham movie within it is awesome. Like when he's riding around on the motorcycle, Mega Force style or Delta Force style, I'm like, I love that scene. And like when he's killing people, and then him and Tony Jaa when they're side by side kicking ass, I still thought that was a cool scene. Now, I just wanted more of that, and I just wanted more of the old school.
You can say a movie sucks on the whole, but you know, I don't.
Oh, sure, there's going to be good scenes.
Yeah,
Statham
I don't
and Tony
think
Jaa
I've ever not
and
liked
Iko Uwais
Jason
was not the
Statham.
problem with it.
Yeah,
Stallone, I don't know. Oh, like what they did to his character.
Well, they mess with the Barney. My problem is in the first 10 minutes he's already behaving like not like Barney would not behave, like reneging on a bet. Oh, I'm going to go get steal. It's like I lost the bet fair.
Yeah, I'm going to murder this guy in cold
murder
blood
this guy
for winning this fucking bet fair and square.
Yeah, like I that's like a checkout moment. I've got movies where that's a checkout. I'm like, okay, I'm checked out of this. Whatever. Sure, let's see this movie now.
Yeah,
oh, he's not in it. Oh, he's really dead. Oh, I'll bet you $5,000 he's not dead and shows up at the end with a lame excuse.
Yeah. Oh, I knew that already. I knew it already. But
it's like,
Statham is like a ninja. You put Statham into the movie, he makes that movie better. Even if this movie sucks balls, you're just like, Statham was awesome.
One of my absolute favorite Jason Statham roles that isn't even his fucking movie is Spy. With Jude Law,
he's fucking hysterical in that movie.
I saw that
he steals that fucking
and that's
movie.
Statham doing something different.
That's Statham doing comedy.
Yes,
and I absolutely, and he's failing at most of everything he's doing in there as trying to be a badass. And I fucking love that character in there. And that end credit scene with him and her in bed, I bust out laughing every. Oh, you loved it. I fucking love that line. But Statham is probably one of my favorite new action stars, and I kids call him new because I'm not counting like
he's one of the last. I said in my review, he's one of the last few tough guys, like on-screen tough guys. Because I think Frank Grillo's up there as well. I think he's just got that tough guy, old school Bronson kind of thing to him.
Yeah,
the movies need to come into the theater, and they need to have a lot of people watching it. That's the only, and they have to be of good quality. That's why. You can bitch about John. We can nitpick John Wick because we're kind of more fans and a little bit more it's like me. I'll nitpick on stuff.
We love it, but we're gonna
nitpick it. Yeah. But it's almost like we have the privilege to nitpick it because of our backgrounds. If someone else comes and is like, "Oh, that John Wick series is shit," it's like, okay, buddy, we got a problem here. You better watch yourself.
Outside, no.
Well, yeah, it's like if you have a brother or sister. Listen, I'm the only one that's allowed to call that.
Correct. I'm the only one. Right. I can
sneak up behind them and you go, I'm the movie reviewer. We got a problem outside. That's what we'll do from now on. Anytime someone makes me
Charlie, you got to do that accent through a whole show, man. I will pay you to do an accent through a whole show.
Oh my god!
But it makes it because one elevates it all. Because if John Wick can elevate it all and get these movies into blockbuster status, that's going to help the other ones. Like John Wick helps Beekeeper.
Yeah.
Because like Frank Grillo, what like action movie of his has made it to the big screen where we all saw it in IMAX? I saw Beekeeper in IMAX. Listen, without John Wick, I can guarantee you Beekeeper in IMAX is not happening.
No, I can give you that.
I give
right.
It,
like
I mean, the other flip side of that is though. There's nothing else coming out. So if there had been, say, Oppenheimer had been coming out, Beekeeper would not have gone.
Correct. So timing, the studio has to play its role and do timing, right? And they have to look just like Tom Cruise had to look ahead to be like, he didn't look ahead very well. He's like, well, Oppenheimer, he underestimated it, brought out Mission Impossible. It's like, well, it only came to IMAX for a week, and then they booted it to throw Oppenheimer back in. That definitely hurt sales because one IMAX ticket is worth two in the bush, two normal. So that
I got to drive even further to go IMAX. So I didn't see Beekeeper in IMAX. I would have if it had been the closer
of
theater to me. But I watched it in the new updated theater, Dolby and all that stuff. And I was in there, man. It was awesome.
Yeah. That's the one good thing about living where I am in Panama City right now. It's like my marriage might ended, but I got 2 comic book stores within a mile of each other, and I got an IMAX. Right,
that's an even trade, man. You're good. Yeah, you can go to either one and not get yelled at.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
Totally. I go there with my daughter. I just went there. Today was new comic day, so I got all the new GI Joes and the Cobra Commander, and so that's like.
I did not like Duke, so I'm gonna read. I got Cobra Commander on digital.
I got Duke today, and I'm gonna read it.
It's not a Duke story; it's a Transformer story.
I
with Duke in it.
But
anyway, I gave it. I don't know. I think I gave it like a 6 out of 10 or something. That's all right. Godspeed success. Want to see an R-rated action in the theaters? It's good for the genre.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is. This is a good R-rated, violent. Hell, if anything, I kind of wanted a little more violence, even though that's pretty.
Yeah, I wanted to be 2 hours.
No. Take that back.
Yeah,
we're taking that back. 100 minutes, guys. Don't. That's it.
This is what it should be.
No, don't. I mean, John Wick 4, the biggest sin of all. Why is this like 2 hours and a half? That's a massive sin.
That. Why have I soiled myself twice watching this movie because I need to go to the bathroom? So,
anticipation of will I be able to hold my urine is not an effective
All right, an hour and 50 minutes. Will you take an hour and 50 minutes?
No.
Okay.
I don't like 100 minutes. I don't even like Beekeeper was 6 minutes. Like why?
An hour and 40. I'll give you an hour and 48 with
140.
Negotiating. Come on, man, just a little more. 100.
Can't do it. I gotta be firm.
Listen,
I watched it a bunch of times.
I watched Wanted Man just yesterday. I have to do my review for that Dolph Lundgren movie. 82 minutes. I loved it.
Beautiful.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest movie,
but
it was like
okay.
It was like stripped down, basic, old school, blood squibs, and he was a dick at the beginning. And
he's
a racist dickbag in it, and like his character's not sympathetic. Like I posted
I thought the finale was a little weak.
I saw that.
I thought the finale was a little weak, but other than that,
I mean, it's a straight to the DVD movie. It's I mean, you get better, like if it's like a William Kaufman movie or something like that, then that's obviously quality. But I like that Dolph isn't afraid to challenge himself in terms of characters, like he does with this. Like this character is not a likable guy at the start.
Yeah, I like how he's got an arc.
It's predictable, but
and the girl he's protecting, she's likable, and they have good chemistry together. And I'm like, a direct-to-video action movie that actually makes me feel something for the people. It's like, okay.
So I mean, I enjoyed it.
I mean, I saw the twist coming from 5,000 miles away.
Oh, yeah, you did.
That's besides the beginning.
Yeah. So keep your expectations low, Jimmy, but it's decent. I mean, it's all right for a straight to DVD movie. It's all right.
And I like how they put his ankle injury into it's like, he just had that surgery. So you see him working it out at the beginning. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Dolph Lundgren's coming to Niagara Falls on Saturday.
Yes,
June.
I
wonder if I'll be there for that.
Oh yeah. We got Dolph Lundgren, Lou Diamond Phillips, Robert Patrick. All on the same weekend.
They got a convention up at Niagara Falls coming up.
Son of a bitch!
And Peter
you're all the way down on the dick of America. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I've already met Peter Weller twice.
Yeah, I saw. I know you have. Yeah, but I haven't. So, but the problem is that if too many people come on a Saturday only, Saturday is a nightmare. So you can only see. Last time I went on a Saturday, I literally met 2 people, and that's all I did the entire day. Because the lines are so crazy.
Stand about that shit anymore going to these.
And they don't do 2 days.
Way too many,
on one day.
Celebrities on one day. Well, a lot of times it's like most of them only want to be there one day. It's like we can make our bank on Saturday and go home Sunday. Right. It's totally fine. But it's like unless you have good management and things flying and moving smoothly, no one's going to get to see all the people they want to see in that day.
You can't. It's impossible.
It's impossible. It's like Disney. You can't do all of Disney in a week.
No, I know.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, when we went on Sunday, I always go on Sundays, and on Sunday, Owen first time ever went on a Sunday with me last time. And I'm like, you see, Owen, why am I pumping? Why am I Jay keeps saying Sunday, because I met like 7 people and talked to them for 15 minutes each. It's like, and still had time. Like, I'm like, we still got. Can we meet anyone else while we're hanging around
So
here?
that's
Like,
exactly what we did. All those people got like we stood and chat with Keith David for about 10 or 15
Yeah, I
minutes.
know. I kept seeing your posts. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Those are the best times, man. There'll be many times they're just walking around the fucking
Yeah.
con.
Yup.
Like Kim
And
Coates,
you can go-
we spoke to for like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then he followed me back on Twitter,
Yeah.
and he was chatting away about everything. And he was talking about like Bruce Willis is one of his best friends, and he was talking about all of that stuff. And we're talking about The Last Boy Scout, and I was like, this is awesome. I never thought I'd get to meet him. He's been so many movies. And
I love that scene.
Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah, Saturday. It's like 1 second. I stood in line. I met, I think it was 3 people. One of them was Burt Ward, who, you know, I didn't have much of a line. But then the other 2 people, I think it was like, it was a 90. No, it was a 2-hour wait for Stephen Amell, like Arrow, Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and then who's the other person I met? I'm like, and then I got one photo up and I went home. I'm like, I've done nothing today. Like
I got my picture of Stephen Amell and I waited in line for forever. And I got to say, hey, I love Arrow. He's like, hey, thanks, man.
Thanks. Okay, see ya.
Well, that's how it was when I took Anthony to see Patrick Stewart. You know, it was just
Patrick Stewart would be impossible.
3, 4, and this was early on. This was like, I mean, shit. Anthony's 17 now. He was like 8 when we went and did that, and it was just wait. He's awesome though, by the way. Patrick Stewart's a badass, but just wait.
Yeah, but you're doing nothing all day.
Can I answer that question that popped up? Early reactions to Skyline.
I haven't seen it. What do you?
Well, wait. It's just news that the movie announced. So.
It's the first must see of 2025. What else is there to say? It's like you got
coming out till 2025.
Yeah, they're saying it's gonna.
Then I'll get excited about it in 2025.
How many Skyline movies are there now?
This is the 4th one.
Well, the thing was, they announced it as just Warpath, and everybody's like, and I'm like, no, it's not Skyline. It's just Warpath with Iko Uwais and Liam O'Donnell. And then all of a sudden now it's like, I'm like, why didn't you just say that at the beginning? Like it's this big reveal or something. It's like, okay.
Or they a story that they crammed it into.
Well, the only problem was the end of the last one was going to go back to Frank Grillo's character because he was captured.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be in this one.
Yes. So, and then they were like, let's do it. And now it's totally changed, which I mean, you know, whatever happens in the business and stuff like that. Or he might still be in it, or he might be in the next one or something. But I thought they were going to do like that, you know, and then his adopted daughter was going to go find him and stuff like that. But now we've got Iko Uwais is back with Scott Adkins. And it's like, okay, I'm like, I'll watch it, but I'm like, I want to see what happens with what they did with the end of the last movie.
Wow, I'm so behind, man. I saw Skyline 1 in the theater, and that's the last one I saw.
I think
Beyond Skyline is my favorite one. The second one.
That one.
It's like the Empire Strikes Back of the Skyline.
I think my first one's on a double DVD with some other freaking movie, like Children of Men or some shit. I don't even know.
Children of Men.
We got to do a stream on what's with like random double. Like I've gotten ones where it's like, you get 2 movies. Like, what the hell do these have to do with each other? Like, who want? Like, it's not like you'd think you'd get Friday 13th and Halloween or something. Where but like it's like
it comes down
Friday
to
13th,
Caddyshack.
and it's like some weird thing.
Weird.
Like, like who,
Got a
Children of Men is awesome,
right, Alex, too. I can't remember what that one's a double on. I got quite a few double DVDs.
Where it's like, some weird ass thing. There were some good ones. You get like all 4 vacation movies on one, like something like that. It's cool. Or
well, I like buying the ones like I got the Blu-ray one of it was like Blood Diamond and Domino and a bunch, but they're all on individual Blu-rays. And I was like, well, fuck yeah, I don't have to sit there and
figure out which
but
flip it and then the other one's on the other side or something weird.
Or you get to like the 10 Canon films on
I love that one. That's my favorite.
Like, I just saw that at Big Lots the other day and I'm like, I have some of these by themselves, but I need this one.
I like what Jimmy's saying right there.
Plus, it was like $2.75. I'm like, I can't pass that.
Right, it's dirt cheap. I like with Jet Li and Jason Statham in War, what Jimmy's got there on the comments. I actually enjoyed that movie.
I was
I forgot about that.
That ending sucked. I'm sorry.
I forgot about
between
that.
the two of them.
Yeah, I hated the ending, but I
The
love the
ending,
rest of
but
the movie.
everything coming
Everything
up
else was
onto
good,
it was
and then they did the
awesome.
big reveal,
Yeah.
and he was the bad
And
guy.
it was such a
and-
downbeat finale, and I was like, "Oh, I really didn't need that." That was
yeah.
like I sometimes like it. I love a good twist, but that was not a good twist because I was like,
No,
I've been
it didn't
emotionally
even do
involved
that.
in the story. You just fucking
Yeah.
completely took me
And
off.
and Statham was so invested in finding, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm like, what? And
Yeah,
then their fight scene was just kind of like, it wasn't like I expected more. And like it was just them punching each other and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember I haven't seen it in a while, but it
I
was
expected
just,
war.
yeah, exactly.
I
watched
Yeah,
it a
exactly.
few
It's like-
times. I enjoy watching it, but you're right. I mean, the ending is lackluster to it.
yeah,
But man,
and it just
everything
kills the
leading up to
movie.
it, him playing both sides, doing that whole Yojimbo type thing where
Yeah.
he's playing both sides of the evil thing.
Hell yeah.
I mean, and it's Jet Li. I'll watch anything Jet Li's in.
Mhm.
Him and Statham. I mean, I love the one with Jason Statham and Jet
Yeah.
Li in it.
It's
man.
so
That's
funny
a
that
great
Statham's
movie.
in that movie. Yeah, I keep
With
forgetting.
hair.
With hair.
Jason
Yeah.
Statham's in that with hair.
Well, that's
and
how
then
you know he's like, I need to start cutting my hair because then it was like me, is like, just cut it.
it was like
Just cut
that
it.
one in Ghosts of Mars.
I
Yeah,
love
but he
Ghost
tries an
Hair.
American
Oh.
accent in the one, which is
I
brilliant.
hate
Because, like,
Ghosts of Mars because like he's so unceremoniously killed in that movie. It's like, I'm
Because
like,
he's not a
what?
main character. No one
I
knew who the
don't
fuck
care.
he was.
It's still
Yeah,
Statham.
yeah. No, but when I
Dude,
saw that in the
even
theater, I
Statham-
thought he'd be good.
Even Statham in his early career, you don't disrespect him, and that's what Ghosts of Mars.
John Carpenter put him in a movie. That's hyper respect.
Exactly.
okay,
he was still
okay,
that
well-
dude from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. That's what most people
Alright.
knew him from, And then
Alright.
Snatch. Those were the big things that a lot of
Yes.
people knew him from. And then he got put into action. And my God, he's like took it like fish to water.
Well,
whenever he
yeah,
got
the
put in action
transport is the
movies.
one that did it. I'm like, because I remembered, like, I didn't know he knew martial arts. It's like, it's like, oh, okay.
And the
He looks-
Crank movies are fun as shit to watch if you just want dumb,
Yeah,
insane.
Oh my God!
makes
And the
no
second
sense.
one, when they turned it into a Godzilla movie, oh my God, funniest
That
thing
was
I've ever
funny.
seen in my
That
life.
was fucking funny when they
That
did
was
that.
awesome.
But
Yeah.
I'll watch the Crank movies every once in a while back to back because it's insane.
They're so unapologetically politically
Exactly.
incorrect. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's. I just want to show that movie like to a bunch of people. Just
I think I only own Crank 1 on Blu-ray. I don't think but I liked part 2 and I just never bought it. And then I don't know. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I should get part 2 on Blu-ray.
What do you think? He died in the first one, then all of a sudden he's back alive at the second one.
It actually makes it better for me because if you're just gonna make it nonsense, just go for it then.
And that's what
Like,
they did. It's
which is
so
why it's
fucking
okay.
nonsense, man.
Yeah, I like nonsense.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, those are. I don't think we have Best Buy.
Best Buy is done with physical media. They're clearing
done.
I mean,
Yeah.
Best Buy in Canada
So-
sucks anyway. They're a bunch of fucking scam artists. Never buy anything from Best Buy in Canada. They suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Um,
all of that stock, I went to Toys R Us, the one across the street from me, and they inherited all, and I could tell a lot of it was from Best Buy. They inherited all of the 4Ks, Blu-rays, and all that, and the LPs and the CDs. They inherited all that. So now their entire section is massive. They've got like tons of LPs. They've got, I picked up, what did I get on Blu-ray? They had 4Ks there, like, they had Running Man, Event Horizon. What were the other? Like, I got a couple of CDs from them. They've got manga as well, so my wife got some manga from there. So they've really Toys R Us for whatever reason inherited all this. So it's so
and we don't
odd.
have that here, so they probably got 90% of the stock from.
So
down
I don't know
here
where
as well.
where the other but it's somewhere. I used to, man, you guys would have been super jealous over this. But I used to go to a warehouse that acquired all VHS tapes whenever a place closed.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was a warehouse. So we went to the horror section. Like, it's like there's like 7 copies of every Evil Dead movie. There's like it's like Silent Night, Deadly Night, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got all 5 in one day. It's like, okay, and it's all like $2 just because they don't care. It's like
Well,
They
it's
Live,
just
Assault on
overstock
Precinct
for them.
13, Supergirl, like, which was never available anywhere. It's like all these movies, I just had them all, and we got so spoiled. We would go in and walk out with like 30 movies because, and they had multiple copies. It wasn't even like we had to fight. Me and my buddy didn't have to fight for anything. It's like, you want an Evil Dead? Sure.
Everybody
Well,
gets one.
Everyone gets an Evil Dead.
Evil Dead for you.
You could not
The
find
fucking
Evil Dead on VHS. It's impossible.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
McFarlane
McFarlane.
dumps. Yeah,
Out for a lot.
McFarlane. Yeah.
We got a store here called Ross, and they've been getting like the seconds from Walmart, Target, all that
Yep.
shit, and it's dirt like a quarter of what they were for retail. It's insane.
Oh yeah. So the He-Man figures are $5 Canadian. So it's like $3, Charlie. $3. You know those He-Man.
$3.
You know those
You know, this whole wall of origins.
whole wall?
In it? Yeah,
They're $3
$3
a piece.
I know.
It's effing annoying.
It is, but you know,
Because I already own them all.
I bought them, and you never know. And honestly, there are still some that were short done, and now they're actually worth as much as some regular, you know, classic He-Man.
Right.
But yeah, I don't care. I collected it.
I mean, I don't care. It is what it is. I bought.
They were cheap. They started out at like $10, and then they got up to like 15. Then the deluxes went up.
Right.
The fucking Moss Man that came out was $40 dollars.
I'm not buying it. I literally vowed to not buy it.
I did. I bought it.
No, I'm not getting it. I had the opportunity. $70 Canadian.
There's 8 of them at my Walmart right now. It'll be on clearance eventually. So if I buy one at half price, that makes the one I bought at full price. And if that math just keeps working down, eventually I won't have paid full price for it all. Oh, and I'm sorry, bud.
Last thoughts on Beekeeper.
Beekeeper.
Owen's like, what was Owen looking at for the last 5 minutes? He's like looking over.
I've just found that book I was talking about last week, and I was like,
the one you went
there. Yeah, hold on. Right.
Go get it.
I love it. He looked for like 5 minutes. Like, hold on, talk to amongst yourselves.
So thrift stores are the best dollar for. Yeah, those are always good. God, Battlestar Galactica Cylon head. Oh my God, that is an amazing deal.
That's a great buy for the Cylon head one.
Oh, wow. I got that. Yeah, I got that.
Shit.
Sam Furstenberg said that to me.
Here, hold on. Like, do it again. Let's see, Owen. I made you full screen.
Oh, now you got full screen.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Nice book.
That is nuts.
That's
like, I think I got mine in my closet.
Wow.
Sorry.
That's like 2 of that Die Hard book I just got.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which I have right there. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely must have. Right. So next week we're going to be discussing, is Die Another Day really that bad?
So are we going to be doing Reacher or no? Because maybe we should do Reacher because that'll end this week, and then we can do that because it's newer, and then Die Another Day. Or do you want to give people an extra?
I got to watch I'm going to binge the last 4 episodes of Reacher.
What do you think?
We'll do Reacher next week then. Well, it's relatively fresh. I don't remember what happened in the first season, no, but I'll read Wikipedia or something.
Well, we'll just talk. We just talk about season 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We'll just have a general talk about Reacher next week then. We'll call it Reacher round 2.
Will you be able to catch up, John? I think.
Oh yeah. If I I will. Like I said, I was just waiting for. I was waiting for the last one, and I'm just Reacher when I'm by myself and I get home from work.
Yep. Yeah, because I think Steve's caught up and I think Sean's caught up. So this will be one stream where we can get everybody on, which might be kind of fun.
Yeah, I always have problems watching TV shows too, because like I like my life before was like, so now it's like I watched Fire Country, like I watched all 20 some episodes.
John's like, I need something new to watch now, damn it, give me more shows.
Yeah, so
watch One Piece if you haven't watched One Piece.
Check it out, yeah.
Okay, so next week we'll do Reacher, then we'll get that done, and then I can finally do Die Another Day. But that's actually good because then it means
it's your show, Owen. If you want to do Die Another Day,
yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, well, yeah, no, it's good. I don't know if you want to give people an extra week to see Reacher, but I think most people have been keeping up with it. I don't know,
because it's week to week. It's a lot easier for people to be watching it currently. You know,
I don't fucking care how many people watch it anyway, so we'll do it anyway. They can watch it, and then it's we get the archives, and they can watch it whenever they want.
Exactly, we get the views. Nothing wrong with it. We do this for fun.
Jimmy, you're right. Yeah, I probably won't watch it. Yeah, I can't think of the next thing I'll go see. Maybe
I think
Godzilla versus Kong.
That's
Godzilla X Kong, whatever the fuck it's called.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch it though.
I haven't heard about your thoughts on the Fall Guy.
I want to see it.
I do too.
I'll see it.
It's 87 North. I'm gonna go watch it
though too. I think Ryan Gosling is gonna become a good action star.
Yeah. It doesn't look anything like the series, but
no, it doesn't. But that's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm like, whatever.
I've got some bad vibes from the trailer. I've seen the trailer a few times now.
I love, like, my daughter and I watched the trailer once. Well, I had seen the trailer when I of course when I was on my show, but then we seen the Beekeeper, and I laughed. Like, it just looks.
Yeah, I enjoyed the trailer.
Yeah.
So. It looks like he is going to be talked down to the entire movie.
Another one of those movies.
It's like the trailer. I was like, no, I don't know. Like she's like, they keep talking, and then it's like he's always like subservient, like, oh, I'm whatever. I don't know. It is not the Beekeeper. It looks like the antithesis of the.
I already know that.
Good night, Jimmy. See you next time.
All right, see you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Argyle, I'm skipping that one too.
I'll see it because I'll need to review it. I'm sort of curious about it, but I'm like, why does it keep showing this fucking cat in the trailer? I'm like, what?
Well, when I found out he wasn't a real person, I'm just like,
yeah, I don't know, but it has Sam Rockwell in it, and he better dance. Sam Rockwell dances in every movie.
Yeah.
And I love Sam Rockwell.
That's probably going to be one I wait for streaming on. I don't know if I'm going to go out of my way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will see it maybe just to get out of the house.
I'll go see Godzilla -1 color again.
I think that'll be I will go to the black and white. I will go watch -1.
I've already seen this in color, but I will see it in black and white before I see Argyle.
Okay, so Jay, are you doing anything, or Charlie, anything cool on your shows this week?
Let's see. Judge Dredd episode just come out. One of my birthday picks. Stallone. Mm-hmm. And then our horror episode is coming out where we cover Hardware, which J-Man.
Oh my god! I remember when that came out.
I love it. I just watched a Tenebrae documentary with him on there. Talking about Tenebrae, but also
I brought my buddy on who just interviewed the director last year, which is just a few months ago, but last year he had just interviewed him, and he's a huge Hardware fan, so we're doing that one for my birthday, and then the anniversary episode will come out at the end of the month, so it'll be out then.
Awesome.
Okay. So next week
we'll
talk. Oh yeah, for Jay.
I was just say I'm doing my Friday. So every Friday we're doing Frank Miller's run on Daredevil. So we're on episode 3. We're covering 3 issues a week. Going through all the issues. It's absolutely beautifully drawn. Right now he's only the artist. He will become the writer shortly. And when he becomes the writer, it completely transforms Daredevil. Basically, if you're a fan of the Daredevil Netflix TV series, which you should be if you're a fan of anything, that Netflix series is basically the Frank Miller show. That there's that, and then every Monday we do our Legion of Superheroes live stream. We're on episode 30, so we've covered almost 90 appearances of the Legion of Superheroes in order, starting from Adventure 247. So that's pretty crazy. There you go. John, do you want to have anything? Do you have anything?
Well, listen, like I said, I not to get real, but I went to a dark place for a little bit. But doing this with you guys, I just subscribed back to StreamYard again, so I'm gonna.
Awesome!
I'm getting back out there. I'm getting mentally and physically focused to start doing this again. So it is coming back. I just got in. I'm starting to enjoy it again. So that's the most important.
All right,
good to hear, man. Good to hear.
Yeah. What's going on? I'm planning to see Argyle Land of Bad.
Land of Bad, but that's going to come to digital. You don't have to go to see it. But that looks badass.
When's the Fall Guy even out?
March.
There's a Fall Guy in March. Okay. Yeah, I mean that
I can't remember. I don't remember.
We saw so many trailers and posters that had no date.
Yeah.
It's now I don't know when the fuck anything comes out.
They moved Godzilla Kong up a week.
It moved up because they moved other things. This, like I said, they're stretching this year completely. That's why Furiosa doesn't have a release date yet. They're probably going to wait and see where they can capitalize.
May 3rd? Oh,
May 3rd.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Yeah, most things I'll watch probably in digital anyway. I mean, I get
this summer is not very.
Yeah, that's fine. I get to save money this year, and
exactly. That's what I'm like.
Watch movies I actually want to watch as in movies from the 80s and 90s rather than some other shit.
Exactly.
Go back and because I'm currently I've just started revisiting the cinema of Hulk Hogan. So I just did on the site my post on No Holds Barred.
Thunder in Paradise.
And then next week I'm going to do a post about Suburban Commando, and I'll go through them all eventually.
The Ultimate Weapon. You ever see the
Ultimate Weapon? All that stuff.
Yep.
So I've been doing all that. So keep an eye on the site. I have new stuff pretty much 7 days a week because I have no life.
Stop it! You got all kinds of life.
I have no life now. So
action is life.
You and I we can band together. The guys.
The action is my life. That's the thing. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so we'll talk about Reacher next week, and then the week after we'll do the Die Another Day one.
We're about to do some cowboy shit.
So, So if you're watching, you are the action elite, and we'll see you next time.